Sunday afternoon in the Den. It's Bellarine High School for this round 9 of the 2025 BigV State Championship men. It's the 3-8 Camberwell Dragons hosting the 4-7 Bellarine Storm. Jack Thornton alongside me, Zach Bazina. Zach, two teams that come into this game in reasonable recent form, winning 2 out of their last 5. But it's really been a tale of two sides, I suppose, over the course of this season so far. Camberwell, the slow start to the year, losing the majority of their first 10. And then really it's been the safety boy of Sean Conway coming in late in the last 5 that's been able to spark this Camberwell offense.
Yeah, Sean Conway, as soon as he's got to the club, he's made an instant impact. Just on the floor, a very ethical hooper, knows how to get to his spots, doesn't rush anything, and always knows how to get players involved as well, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep his hot form up tonight.
Over on that Bellarine side, you've got obviously the three-pronged attack, Kerry Richardson, Malik McKinney and Ben Robinson as well, over the course of the season, averaging well over 10 a game, all three. What do you think Camberwell have to do to be able to slow down that three-headed attack over the course of this one?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle it, as last week in their 2 matchups, the two-star scorers for the other team combined for 82 across the 2 games. So it'll be interesting to see if Camberwell blitz early on guys like McKinney, or if they try and play one-on-one or even go into a zone later on.
We mentioned the turnaround that Bellarine in particular have had over the last few weeks, getting rid of their coach and bringing in Nick Stamopoulos, who really, it's been a different looking offense over the last few weeks. They've been able to spot over 80 points in the last 3 games, where scoring had been a struggle over the first half of the year.
Yeah, I don't know if they've changed something in the system, but it's obviously working, so we'll be interested to see if they keep that up today.
We're going to look at these starting lineups as they come to hand, but should be a cracker of a game. 10 and 11 on the ladder coming into this one. Two teams looking to right the early wrongs of their season so far. Should be an absolute cracker here. Bellarine High starting to fill up as well as we head towards this tip-off. Shouldn't be far away now as Camberwell going with, well, somewhat of a traditional starting lineup that they've run over the course of this season so far. Obviously Conway, the big addition in there. He'll be out there with Ben Crowe, Trent Andre, Mike Reeves, who has been somewhat of a revelation over the first half of this season. And Lockie Viney will make up the last part of it. Bellarine, it'll be McInerney, Richardson, Lewis Varley, who's had to take somewhat of a back seat over the course of 2025 so far. He'll be there with Robinson and McKinney, as well as Bellarine playing in the away whites will control the tip as we get underway. It'll be Robinson at the top, guarded by Crowe. They'll look to the high post of Richardson, looking down the line, pulling up and floating over the top of Conway. Short-armed it, and Camberwell will take over for their first offense of the game. Conway now. 30 and a bit a game for him over the first 5 games of his BigV career. Andre, the pull-up from the top of the key, was pure right down the numbers for Trent Andre and opens the account for the game.
If he's making those shots today, it's going to be a rough day for Bellarine.
So Bellarine now, they'll play through Robertson, with Crowe for company, working on the left hand, stepping back, falling away off the back iron and out, and a nice rebound to keep the offense alive for Richardson. On Reeves, McInerney. Somewhat of a stalwart for Bellarine over the journey, Big Liam McInerney. Missed the layup on the left hand as Ben Crowe walks into a triple. Just off the right side, ball bouncing around, and Andre will control the rebound. Here's Viney. Viney on Varley. An alphabetical matchup as he gets the rip through to go. A little finish up and under. Lewis Varley not happy. Thought there was a little bit of contact on the face, and he'll have a conversation as he walks up the floor on the offensive side, I beg your pardon.
Not how Viney drew it up, but 2 points is 2 points.
No pictures on the scorecard, as they say. McInerney looking and surveying. McKinney, who will get fouled by Viney.
Bit over-aggressive there from Viney, but I like the intensity on defense here from the Dragons early.
McKinney's been a great addition for Bellarine so far this year. 21 a game after he defected from Hume at the end of 24. What sort of impact can a really high-scoring offensive player like Malik McKinney what can he provide to a team like this that's maybe not necessarily the offensive firepower, hasn't really got the offensive firepower that you'd expect for a team at this level?
Yeah, well, if you have a top-tier scorer on your team, your offense can open up for multiple other players. So if defense is collapsed on McKinney, then it'll open up avenues for everyone else.
Certainly no more example of that than Richardson, who's got 18 of his own. Conway inside Reeves. Reeves on McInerney. A lot of contact, but missed the layup. I think Camberwell would be pretty happy with that look, but Mike Reeves just blowing the layup inside. Here is McKinney. Stepping back over the top of Viney, the lefty. No good. Nice rebound, Richardson. Inside for McKinney. Finishing, not quite with the right. Gets his own offensive rebound and then finishes on the left. Great second chance opportunities for the Storm there. Viney now on McKinney, looking downhill, kicking out. Ben Crow the three, left corner, connect. 3 points for Ben Crow as he pours in his first point for the game.
Get 2 feet in the paint and kick out for threes. It's efficient offense.
Downhill now, Robertson spinning onto the right hand and finishing. Nice look there. Viney receiving the screen from Reeves. Kick out pass. Crow, another triple. It's good. Ben Crow, 2 threes in a row.
See if they give him a heat check now in this next possession.
Crow, the prolific three-point shooter. And now doing it on the defensive end as well, as Ben Crow will draw the offensive foul.
I like this intensity early from the Dragons. Getting up and in. Bellarine trying to get into the paint. Dragons doing a good job here of walling up.
So Crow able to get it done on both ends of the floor, as we mentioned. He's really stepped into a bigger role this year. He sort of had somewhat of a breakout year last year, and it's certainly paid dividends for him as it has lifted into 2025 also. Here's Andre. Andre pulling up over the top of Ali, puts it in. Nice three-pointer there for Trent Andre as he makes his first 3 of the game, and inside went Ben Robertson, and the foul's going to go against Ben Crow on the reach-in. Well, certainly probably sums it up, isn't it? Commentator's curse, too much positivity about him. Got stung for the foul on the hand check.
Don't think the Drags would be complaining right now. 3 or 4 from 3 to start the game. Can't ask for more than that.
McKinney, Varley the 3. Just around and out, and Reeves controls the rebound. Viney. Nice screen in the back play there from Reeves. It's inside. Nice finish, but it's going to get waved off, I think. The foul was on Viney. Got poked in the eyes. He tried to finish with the right over the top of one of the twin towers there for Bellarine and McInerney.
I think the crowd would have liked that to continue on and let Reeves get that putback dunk there.
Took it out of the stratosphere and threw it down, as Anthony Edwards would have said. Took it from all the way from Uticon. It'll be Viney at the line though. Makes the first, a 50% shooter on the year. Perfect so far from the line. Misses the second. The tip from Robertson almost bounced out of bounds, but controlled it, and here goes McKinney. Robertson inside, a lot of contact. Couldn't get the finish, and Reeves is going to get done for a foul. It'll be his first.
We were discussing this earlier, Jack. If Reeves gets in foul trouble, we don't know where the Dragons are going to go. So hopefully Reeves can't pick up his second here in this first term.
Yeah, you were saying to me off air before the game that, you know, Camberwell needing to curb the output of the big fellas down there for Bellarine, and that Reeves foul trouble is going to be essential. Obviously his first, not cause for concern at this point, as the 54.7% shooter Ben Robertson misses the first. He's no good on the second, so hungry jacks for everyone in the stands, but unfortunately not to be for the Bellarine number 4 as they go upstairs and down hard. Mike Reeves on his hand. All over the top of Ben Robertson.
They didn't count that first dunk, but they're definitely going to count that one. Huge finish from Reeves.
And I don't think there's anyone in the stadium on either side of the floor that didn't like that one, as Robertson's going to take a seat.
Don't think Robertson was too happy with the treatment afterwards.
A bit of chat with the bench as well as he headed off the floor. And gee whiz, Mike Reeves, the big hammer, off the lob. I was talking on a game probably a couple of weeks ago about the sort of prolific lob threat, and what does that do to you defensively, knowing that there's such an athletic presence on the other end of the floor?
Well, if you're playing drop coverage in the screen, you have to recover quick enough if it's a lob threat, because they can throw it right up there and they can get upstairs. So it'll be interesting to see how Bellarine defend it.
Viney's going to get foul number 2 of the game, and Matt Hart will run quickly to check in for him. Varley will check out for the first time as well. Seth Garcia for his first minutes of the game. Just on the limit now, Camberwell, holding on to this 10-point advantage. McKinney looking, tried to go upstairs for Richardson. Hart threw it away, probably could have let it bounce out of bounds. McInerney turning, facing up, couldn't get the 2, and Andre controls, and off to the races now, Camberwell. Conway walks into a triple. Around and in, nice finish, Sean Conway for 3 in transition.
That's how things are going for Conway right now. Shooters roll there, first shot of the game, first bucket.
Friendly shooting rings here at Baldwin High. Garcia now, looking for McKinney. McKinney on the left. Easy as you like, up and under, and a finish inside. Gary Richardson.
Offensive rebounding really strong here from Bellarine early. Trading dunks here.
High-flying athletic play from both teams here. Early doors, just a tick under. 4 minutes 30 to go here in the first. Hart now on Garcia, working onto the left hand, no good. McInerney almost threw it away, but it'll get to Richardson. Richardson to the rack, bounced off a foot. Hart dives around, tries to get it, and does. Reeves ended up with it. Crow lost the handle, ended up somehow in the corner with Conway to bring the house down. No. Ball stays alive, and Bellarine, after 2 of the great scramble plays you've seen, it's nice defense. Matt Hart draws the offensive foul. Way to move the feet and stay in front.
2 offensive fouls here for Bellarine. Great job from Camberwell to stay in front and put their hands up.
I need a minute to catch my breath because that was some seriously frenetic play from both teams. Stamatopoulos not happy with the offensive foul call, but you can't really question the effort from Hart there to get in front. Andre using the pick now from both. Andre pulling up for 3, front iron. Didn't look close. As Crow tried to make the lead pass inside for Reeves and turned it over. Garcia will indeed turn it over. Conway could have caught and shot from 3, spun inside, got the contact. Couldn't get the finish though. Jack Terrell's going to get called for his first foul of the game.
Conway just does a great job of playing at his own pace, doesn't rush, pump fake, spin move, takes his time and gets himself to the line.
And probably a lesser offensive threat probably would have pulled up and settled for that early transition 3, but just as you mentioned before the game, that ethical style of basketball where he's able to get to the basket. Pretty much automatic from the line, 90% on the year. Extends the Camberwell lead to 12. And make it 13 as it's an early 21-8 lead. 3 minutes 30 to go here in the first quarter. McKinney now. Garcia. Richardson a long way from home. Looking inside for McInerney. McInerney tried to finish up and under with the right. Couldn't get it, but there will be a foul call, and that's going to go against Reeves. And this is that foul trouble you were talking about. That'll be the second on Mike Reeves. And he will take a seat as Tom James will come into the game.
That's just one of those fouls you can't afford to have, putting your hands in there and then getting a piece of the arm, and they go to the line, and now Reeves will probably sit for a while.
McInerney, a competent 61% shooter from the line. Still probably not the one you want to give up necessarily, as Richardson will take a seat as well. Robertson comes back in. McInerney good on the first. You have to wonder if Reeves coming out was the trigger for Robertson back in after that big alley-oop before. Food for thought. McInerney no good on the second. Splits the pair. And Andre will take it over offensively for Camberwell. Crow. James at the top. Andre thought about a triple, decided against it. Went down an absolute hallway on Garcia, shaking and baking, gets to the right hand. Kick out pass. Crow for another three. No good. And a rebound controlled. McInerney missed a long outlet pass there as Robertson leaked out. He's going to end up with it here on Crow. Spinning in the lane, finishing through contact. Nice little spinning jump shot there for Ben Robertson.
Bellarine only attempted 1 3-point shot earlier, looking at getting into the paint.
Andre, downhill, working on the left, almost lost the handle. Crow, nice lead pass for Conway, finishes.
Scrappy play turns into a wide open layup. You'll take that as a Dragon.
Conway up to 7, on a good clip as well, as per usual. McKinney now. McInerney wants it inside, thought he had a bit of a mismatch on Conway. A long three-pointer for Ben Robertson was way off. Garcia, the rebound, working on James. McInerney, McKinney. Garcia was open for 3, turned it down. Right-hand pull-up J was no good. Rebound, McInerney, kick-out pass, Robertson. Working and spinning. And it'll be McKinney with 8 in the shot clock, receiving the screen. Downhill, got off his assignment, spinning, up and in, nice finish. Malik McKinney.
I said it earlier, offensive rebound, 6 already for Bellarine. The Dragons need to stop them from getting on the glass.
Hart. Conway, open for 3, short. McKinney the rebound. And they will control and have a look at some tempo play here. McKinney, a long three-pointer. Off the left edge and out, and it will stay with Bellarine.
You're almost shocked when Sean Conway misses a shot nowadays. He's just been so efficient. Basically another offensive rebound here for Bellarine. See if they turn it into points again.
So a couple of changes both ways. Crow and James will take a seat. Jaden Lai and Alec Mulqueeny will come into the game. As Richardson, who just checked back in over the top of Mulqueeny, was no good. Lai, a nice rebound through the traffic. Andre tried to pull up for a long 2. Didn't really like the look of it. Lai working, Euro down the lane, tried to flip it up and in, and Terrell's going to get done for a foul, I think.
Some scrappy offense here from the Dragons, but they're getting pressure into the paint and they're drawing fouls. Now they're in the penalty.
So both teams over the limit. Just under a minute to go here in the first quarter. It'll be Jaden Lai at the line. 57% on the year. No good on the first. Both teams shooting a reasonable percentage from the floor. As Lai makes the second. Yeah, look at that Camberwell field goal percentage at this point, 53% so far in the game. Is that sustainable over the course of the night, do you think?
I'd like to hope so, but I'd assume it'd come back down to earth a little bit.
McKinney on Lai, jump stepping Euro step. Robertson the 3 was in and out. McKinney a rebound through traffic, tried to force it up, gets the contact and 1.
I'll say it again, offensive rebounds have just turned it into points again. They've already had 4 more shots, 8 offensive rebounds already.
Mulqueeny not happy with the call, but there was indeed a lot of contact inside. McKinney's going to go to the line to try and cut this lead to 8, and does indeed. So 32 and 3/10 left in the first quarter. It'll be Andre to handle. Andre. 7-second difference between shot and game clock. Andre now, long three-pointer. Was nowhere near it. Tried to go off the backboard and missed. It'll be McKinney with 10 seconds. Now 7. Looking down the lane. Too quick and puts it in. Nice finish. Malik McKinney with 2.1 left. Able to flip it up and in, and he's going to go to the line for a bonus 1.
McKinney gets a couple easy ones, and now he's starting to get really aggressive. At 10 already now for McKinney, and 1 to come.
So McKinney to try and make this a 5-point game, seemingly out of nowhere. He's up to 10 on the game as well with the free throw pending and makes the free throw. And a long inbound pass was trouble. Terrell from half court off the side of the backboard and through the end of one. It's Camberwell, a 5-point lead, 24 to 19. Zach Pizzina, first quarter thoughts.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Dragons started off the quarter really hot. They're still shooting 50% from the field. But Bellarine have got 5 extra shots. Those 5 extra shots have probably turned into about 5 to 10 points. So, and then McKinney's got a lot of those looks off offensive rebounds. And look, they didn't make a single three-pointer in that quarter, Bellarine, as the Dragons made 4, and they're still in the ball game. So it'll be interesting to see if Bellarine start to make their 3 balls or if the Dragons come a bit down to earth from there.
So you look at the leading scorers on the night. McKinney's got 10 and Conway's got 7 for Camberwell. And they'll come across your screen in just a moment. And you look at that rebounding stat. 8 offensive rebounds so far in the game, but 15 total. Out rebounding by a score of 9 to 15. And if you're inside the Camberwell huddle here at quarter time, what sort of things are you trying to make as your directive, I guess, for your players as you're looking to improve upon that for the rest of this game?
Yeah, I guess for that first quarter, Jack, there was a lot of possessions towards the end of the quarter where it was just Trent Andre pounding the ball into the floor, and I don't think they're getting the best looks out of that. Like that last shot, he shot a deep contested 3. I feel like the best thing they'd be saying in this huddle right now is to try and get through their offensive sets, and then even try and get into transition. So
on the Bellarine side, it's really been empty offense for a lot of the time. You say, as you've mentioned a couple of times, 5 additional shots, but shooting at a pretty meager 38% on the game so far. What do they need to change to try and, is it the shot quality necessarily, I beg your pardon, or is it more that just the weight of number because they're getting so many extra offensive rebounds? What changes and what can they look to try and fix, I suppose, to try and cut this deficit down?
Yeah, I don't know if it's there. I don't know if their coach would want them shooting as many of those deep mid-range jump shots. I feel like the better shots you can get are getting into the paint or getting kickouts for 3s. But if they start making those mid-range shots, they may prove me wrong here. But I reckon the best way to fix things up in this quarter is to get downhill and play from there.
So we'll get going in a moment for the second quarter. Camberwell holding a 5-point lead as this battle is certainly exactly what we were anticipating it was going to be as we came into it. Tightly contested between 2 teams that probably wish they were a little further up the board than they currently are. Camberwell will get it underway as we say. Camberwell playing in the maroon to the right of your screen. Bellarine in the white to the left. Andre lining up a triple. Tried to open up the account for the second quarter and bounce off the front iron and out. As here goes Richardson. Inside, Euro stepping around Mulqueeny, missed it. Almost cleaned up his own rebound as Mulqueeny ended up with it. Andre, now Conway. Conway stepping back, corner triple on the way, yes! Sean Conway putting in another triple.
Just so patient, reads the defense, steps right back and knocks down the 3-point jumper.
Offensive foul, and Alec Mulqueeny will draw it. It'll be slugged against Ben Robertson. It's going to be Robertson's second personal of the game.
Another offensive foul drawn there by Camberwell. Great job of getting to the spot and putting their hands straight up and taking the blow.
100%. Andre, Mulqueeny, Conway. Thought about lining up another 3. He's going to go off the bounce though. Stepping back over the top of Terrell. Off the front iron and out. And it'll be Malik McKinney to take over. Gets the switch onto Conway, stepping to his left and missing the long 2.
Another one of those deep 2s. Need to try to get 2 feet in the paint before they attempt them.
It's a bit unusual, you would say, in the modern game probably to be attempting so many long 2s, would you say?
Yeah, there's a lot of teams nowadays that just want to shoot 3s and get into the paint. So it's interesting to see why they've attempted so many deep 2s. But great job by Matt Hart there to get into the paint.
Gets the goaltend call as well, as the Bellarine bench didn't necessarily like it.
I think it was the right call. You can't pull on the net.
I think there may have been an argument that it was Matt Hart that grabbed the net. And I don't know a single offensive player in the game that would grab the net on their own attempts unless it's in the warm-up and they're trying to prove they can dunk. Terrell, long 3-pointer was good.
First 3-pointer of the game there for Bellarine. Let's see if they can keep it up.
1 of 5 now from 3, shooting 20% from the land of plenty. Conway now. Hart. Now Andre. Conway Richardson, bit of a mismatch here. Mulqueeny on Terrell, another sort of half mismatches. Nice offensive rebound. Conway put it up, couldn't get the finish. Mulqueeny, offensive rebound, spinning, tries to flip it up and in, and Terrell's going to get charged for his third of the game.
Now it's Camberwell's turn to get on the offensive glass. 2 offensive rebounds there, and they get themselves to the line again. That's 2 early fouls here on Bellarine.
Ben Crow will check back in, and Trent Andre will take a seat. Second team foul, only threw him 2 minutes and 6 here in the second. Mulqueeny will go to the line. A pretty paltry 44% shooter from the line. And you can probably see why from that attempt. Goes one better on the second.
Misses one to the far right and then flushes the second one.
We can all say today that we were here and witnessed an Alec Mulqueeny made free throw. Here goes Bellarine now. They'll look inside for McInerney. They like this matchup on Mulqueeny. Spinning, tried to get to his left hand, tried to get to the right, went back to the left, missed it, and Conway gobbled one up. And he's going to run at pace. Trying on McKinney, kick out pass for Hart. Hart turned down a triple, went inside, nice finish. Almost tried to go up and crown one, but managed to just flip it over the front edge and make the 2.
Great patience there from the Dragons, getting the paint. What happens? Wide open layup.
McKinney has time on Crow, thought about a 3, decided against it, stepping back to the right and pure. A nice make there, Malik McKinney up to 12 on the game.
Another deep 2, but that one goes in, so I'll shut my mouth for now.
Long 3-pointer, Sean Conway back iron and out. And Robertson will take over. Almost turned it over to Conway. Conway gambled, and all of a sudden Richardson's gone in, and it's gonna... And it's going to go against McInerney underneath for the hook. Just a bit of a block, and they're not happy with that in the Bellarine, but I don't know that you've really got an argument there, to be honest.
There's more of a shepherd there. He just blocked him out the way and held onto him, and it prevented Richardson from getting it. Richardson was probably going to score that bucket either way.
It's a dying art in the native game to the country, and certainly was not expecting to see a proper footy-style shepherd here, and let alone one get called as Viney, who's just checked back in, spinning on Garcia. Went down a hallway, somehow found some space, flipped it up and in and one. Lachlan Viney with the floater.
Great patience there, plays off 2 feet, pivots, stays in control, and then finishes over the top with the M1.
Re-establishes that 10-point lead for Camberwell, and he'll go to the line for a bonus.
4 fouls here on Bellarine. Camberwell on the bonus for the rest of the quarter now.
You talk about being in the bonus so early into a quarter, 6.5 minutes left in the second. Does that change your psyche, I think, defensively more than anything, or do you just sort of keep playing the way you're playing and you feel like you've been a little unlucky on the calls?
Personally, I reckon it would affect your psyche, as Bellarine missed a deep 2 there, but you just got to keep your hands out. No silly fouls in the backcourt, just play with your hands out.
Matt Hart looked at Viney and didn't like it in the end as McInerney left the feet and ended up landing all over the back of Matt Hart. Nice move, and Hart will go to the line as Bellarine are over the limit. I think that's the 3rd personal. It is indeed 3rd foul on McInerney. Matt Hart will look to continue his hot form from the line. 2 of 2 on the game. Make that 3 of 3. Hart, who by his lofty standards probably not thrilled with his campaign so far. 7.5 a game and a couple of rebounds and a couple of assists. Pretty automatic from the line. Makes both. As McInerney's going to check out for Varley. One of the more interesting changes I think I've seen in the league. Guard for big. Maybe trying to see if they can go a little bit smaller and a little bit quicker.
Trying to mix things up here. 12-point deficit, try and bring it back.
Maybe stop fouling, might be a start. McKinney got harassed by 2 Dragons in the backcourt. Garcia kicked out to Varley. Kick out to McKinney. Stepping back, long 2 is good and gets the foul too. Bit of a phantom call there as McKinney gets the import call and makes the 2 and is absolutely filthy with his team.
That's 3 on Viney now. Be interested to see what the Camberwell Dragons do.
Would if you were in the seat of Sean King, are you leaving him in and just say don't get the third or don't get a fourth? Or
It depends on the player. He obviously trusts Viney enough not to pick up that fourth. But then another offensive rebound for Bellarine.
Yeah, nice effort to bat it through hands, and it ended up inside with Robertson. Bit of a different defensive look now for Bellarine.
And it forces a turnover straight away. They went to a zone, which is a bit interesting considering the Dragons have already shot 14 three-point shots, and the zone's going to give that up, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it was an interesting shape, almost a 2-1-2. Not quite a traditional 2-3, but the extra high middle guy to try and take away the high post. As here goes Richardson, spinning, went back to the left-hand side. And it was almost a little jump hook with the wrong hand as he made that two.
It was just a big size difference there. It was too easy for Richardson.
Viney flipping it up with contact. Probably forced it a little, but missed it regardless. And Varley's going to run it at breakneck pace the other way. Richardson now pulling up. Elbow jump shot was in and out. And Tom James will control the rebound. Viney, Lai, Crow, inside for James. Oh, he tried to kick it out to Lai and turned it over. Varley now. Skip pass for Robertson, spinning, jump hook, no good. Richardson tried to go up and stuff another one, but lost the handle. Inside Hart, spinning, turning it over. Nice hands, Varley. Richardson off to the races.
Ooh.
Little layup. And a timeout for Camberwell. Their lead has been cut to 4 in seemingly the blink of an eye. And they'll chat about it with 4:25 to go here in the second quarter.
Bellarine decided to go small, and it's looked like it's paid off. A quick run forces Camberwell to call a timeout. See if they keep that same lineup on the floor, and it looks like Reeves is checking straight back in, and same with Conway.
Yeah, I think now's the time, if you're Camberwell, to try and get your big dogs back into the game. Certainly, they'll be looking for a quick response here as we say, that lead cut to 4, and it seemed like it was only a minute or two ago it was sitting around the 12-point mark.
Similar thing happened there in that first quarter, Jack, where they just went on a short run just to pitch it back, and it's just happened again. So it'll be interesting to see how the coach handles this run again for this second term.
So the Dragons, who came into this game, they went to Hume last weekend and got an absolute touch-up. 99 to 121 loss for them. Hume, obviously, really the class of the competition at the moment. Them and McKinnon, you would think, would be hot favourites. Not that there's bookies, but with the bookies, they'd be hot favourites.
Yep, definitely agree with that call. Hume looked really good all season from start till halfway through.
It was Matt Hart who was probably the surprise packet more than anything. And a pretty cold Conway shooting game, 1 of 7 from 3 he went. Similar performance so far for him in this one, making 2, but starting to get it going when he was last on the floor. Viney now working on Varley. Tried to force it up. I think it's going to be 2 shots. It is anyway with the bonus, but sort of went down a bit of an alleyway, and it's been kind of the story of the offense for Camberwell over the course of this game.
Yeah, it's just a bit scrappy, but they're getting points out of it, and they're back at the line, but it looked like they just went out of their offense there and let Viney go one-on-one, and he's done well enough to draw the foul here.
It's a bit of a catch-22. You've got all these great individual breakdown players, and there's only one ball for them to try and cook a guy with. Trent Andre, who's traditionally a very score-first point guard, still averaging his 5 assists a game, but traditionally a scorer. Viney, traditionally a scorer. Hart, traditionally a scorer. You've got all these guys that can go into it with the ball in hand, but maybe not a lot of guys to share the rock. McKinney now, Varley with him. They'll skip it across to Max Cos, his first minutes of the game. Looking over the top of Reeves, threw it away. Got put off by the big number 21 as Conway kicks to Andre, transition 3. No good. Reeves tried to tip it in and did. Athletic play, Mike Reeves. Nice finish.
Camberwell's done well here, even up the rebound battle basically on the defensive end as McKinney goes straight to the rim with the left hand. Beautiful move.
Tough finish up and under. And hasn't he done that time and time again over his career, but also in this game?
Loves getting to his left hand. Nice up and under finish. He's got 16 for the ball game.
Reeves on Richardson. Lost the handle and then got it batted out of bounds.
Another scrappy possession here from Camberwell. Let's see if they can fix it up with 12 seconds to go on the shot clock.
They look absolutely rattled right now offensively, Camberwell. 5 points their advantage. You'd think they were down 15 the way they've looked offensively here. Conway pulling up mid-range, pulled it off the glass and missed. McKinney the rebound.
No shooters roll that time for Conway.
Up to 6 rebounds to go with his 16 points. Malik McKinney is the floater inside for Ben Robertson.
Viney had to be careful there. He's had to get out of the way so he didn't get his 4th personal.
Crow, Conway. Skip pass was slow for Viney. Conway, Crow. Tried to get his feet outside the 3-point line, couldn't. Reeves, oh my goodness, short-armed it. Looking like Angel Reeves right there with the short miss and offensive rebound.
Bit of stat padding there from Reeves, but you'll take the 2.
Oh, McKinney again. Put it in the spin cycle.
Through the legs, beautiful move there from McKinney, and another one of those up and under left-hand layups, just pure.
Conway, Crow, naked inside. Edge of the key was nowhere near it. And he'll be kicking himself that he couldn't get the freebie. Oh, and Cos found a heap of space. Great kick ahead in transition. And the vision from Robertson to get it there.
It's a 1-point ball game now. Unbelievable turnaround here from Bellarine.
All of a sudden, Camberwell looking defunct offensively as they almost throw another turnover through Andre. Viney, Reeves. Foul line jump shot was no good. And the tip ball was off the hand of Richardson and out of play.
This zone causing a few issues here for Bellarine. It'll be interesting to see how here we go as a timeout, so it'll be interesting to see if the coach draws something up to fix up this offense against the zone.
Yeah, Sean King wants to have a chat about it again. And with 1:57 to go here in the second quarter, it's a 1-point ball game. Camberwell holding a 1-point lead, 41-40. Take us inside that huddle. What are we talking here if you're on the Camberwell side and also on the Bellarine side?
Well, for the Bellarine side, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. They're getting out in transition, even off made shots, and getting wide open layups, as we saw in that last possession. But for the Dragons, I think you've got to draw something up here for this zone, because Bellarine, as soon as they've gone to this zone, the Dragons have just struggled to score. They got a good look there from Crow behind the baseline, but they were shooting tough, contested mid-range jump shots, and that's exactly what Bellarine want you to do when you go into that zone.
So, offensively, there have been struggles. They were shooting above 50% earlier in the game, down to 40 now. Camberwell, and similarly on the other side, they were shooting a poor percentage, Bellarine, and now up to around the 50% mark themselves. Yeah,
they've evened up the field goal battle here. Like, both teams have shot around the same amount of shots. It's just from two-point range, the Bellarine Storm just went a bit more efficient down there, and the Dragons are shooting 33% from 3, which isn't too bad, but we'll see what happens here coming out of this timeout if they can get a bucket on this zone.
It's almost like with Camberwell, they've put the focus on trying to stop the offensive rebounds. Only 1 for the quarter through 8 minutes of play for Bellarine. They've stopped that, but they've forgotten how to play defense.
I also think a reason for the no offensive rebounds is Bellarine are making more shots here in the second term.
Viney, Andre, Viney again. Conway, corner 3, was off the front and bounced out of the back. Varley now off to the races. Tried to get it to Zalakos, who just came in, but it'll go off the foot of Andre.
Saved an easy bucket there with that kickball violation.
Max Zalakos, who just came across from that all-conquering Geelong United youth league team. And they'll get it inside to him, and he'll finish through contact. Just as we were talking about him. So Zalakos gives a lead to Bellarine. It'll be their first lead of the game.
Great job there from McKinney. He's been looking to get his shot off, but great job there in the pick and roll, just to hit him on the roll, and nice finish there.
So Zalakos, who's played for a handful of clubs across his junior journey, came into this game averaging 4.5, missed the free throw. An offensive rebound, Richardson spinning on Mulqueeny, pushing off, elevating and missing. Varley, the tip-out rebound. Koss wanted to line one up, got it to Varley again for 3. No good. Conway, the rebound.
Just as we say, the Dragons are limiting those rebounds. They get 2 in a row, but silly foul there. And now the Dragons are back to the line. They can finally get themselves back on the board.
Varley was the one that harassed and fouled. Sean Conway is going to walk 94 feet. Crowd not happy with it.
Don't want to give Conway any freebies. Get himself going here at the line.
Conway was good on the first. Ties the game back up at 42. And he is good on the second. Makes no mistake. 43 to 42 the score. McKinney to handle. McKinney on Viney.
Dragons in a bit of a zone here now.
Cos, McInerney, Richardson still a long way from home. McKinney thought about lining up a three. Very rare that he would tee one up. And misses the step back midi. You mentioned that change of pace defensively from Camberwell there.
Yeah, they changed it up, went to a zone. Obviously, Bellarine not shooting the free ball too well, so it was a good decision there.
Andre Conway pulling up, corner three, off the left side of the ring and out. And a nice rebound, Lewis Varley.
Finally lucky not to pick up his fourth foul there.
Varley looking, Cos off the bounce, dishes inside for Varley, who found an acre of space where there was none seemingly.
They have the lead now here, Bellarine.
Andre will hold. I think they'll go for the last shot here. Shot clock turned off. Andre harassed by Cos. Wants the screen from Viney. Andre kick out. Mulqueeny open for three. Puts it in. Alec Mulqueeny with time expiring. And Camberwell somehow will pull one out to go into halftime, a 46-44 leader.
Great fight back there from Bellarine to end that quarter, but a great free ball there by Mulqueeny to give the Dragons back the lead going into halftime.
As we say, Camberwell, the halftime lead, 46-44. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back here with you for the second half of action. Don't go anywhere. Back with you shortly from Bellarine High School. round 9 of the 2025 Big V State Champ Men's season. It's Camberwell holding a 2-point advantage, 46-44 over Bellarine at halftime here at Bellarine High School. Jack Thornton alongside me, Zach Bazina. Zach, first half thoughts?
Yeah, well, the rebound battle was one for me. With Camberwell, they lost it by 5, but they did well to manage it back. As 11 offensive rebounds in that first half for Bellarine, which led to 11 second chance points compared to the Dragons' 6. So it'd be interesting to see if they said anything in the huddle at halftime there for the Dragons to try and clean that up.
Yeah, you mentioned those offensive rebounds, only the 3 in the second quarter of those for Bellarine. Camberwell clearly doing a job to shut that down a little bit, but those second chance points are a concern if you're on the Camberwell side.
37.5% from the line there as well for Bellarine. If they knock their free throws down, they'd have the lead going into halftime. And look, they're down 2 points, and they've only had the lead for 39 seconds this ball game. So if you're in that Bellarine huddle, you'd be very, very positive going into this second half.
Yeah, we were talking just off air before about about how the points in the paint have been a really big impact in this one as well. You mentioned 30, I think it was, or thereabouts for Bellarine in the first half. What are Camberwell talking about in that huddle to try and curb that influence of the, short to medium range Jays that Bellarine have been getting away with? Do you live with them, or do you hope that you can try and trim a little bit off the top of those?
Yeah, well, you definitely live with those deep twos. The Dragons only scored 16 points in the paint themselves, so going into that zone at the end of that quarter was a good decision there from the Dragons.
So back live for the second half of action here. Bellarine in their away whites to the right of your screen. Camberwell and the home Maroons off to the left. As Bellarine will get going through Richardson, who misses. Varley tried to tip in and missed himself. McKinney's going to come up with a long rebound. And inside for McInerney, who gets the most uncontested lay I think he's ever seen in his career.
We literally said it 1 minute ago, offensive rebounds, 2 already to start this quarter.
Viney, here's that familiar zone for Bellarine as Conway's going to get a touch inside. Viney on the skip pass, lost the handle. But then he's going to win it back, so did well to win the ball back there, Lock Viney. And they'll go to Andre. Viney again. Andre again. Inside, they tried the backdoor for Conway, and Andre turned the ball over and is going to draw absolutely nothing. It's going to be a Bellarine ball. I'm not 100% that either wasn't an offensive foul or a Camberwell ball.
That's got to be one of the two there. It's either a blocking foul or it's an offensive foul. I don't know how there's that much contact and it's no decision.
It's the first time I've ever seen that as a no call. So regardless, it's going to be 19 seconds left on the shot clock now for Bellarine. Is inside for McInerney. Underneath, Reeves gets it in. 2-point lead now for the Storm.
Smashing the paint here, Bellarine.
Viney, high post for Crow, kick out for Viney. Thought about a 3, and then he turned it over almost. Andre, kick ball. Gee, I don't know that Varley really needed to put the foot out on that one. They were scrambling and heading the wrong way there, Camberwell.
Shot clock should reset here to 14, and that's what the ref's going to do. He's going to get the ball back.
They will indeed, so it'll be a 14 on the clock here for Camberwell as Viney's going to line up a 3 and put it in.
Hand down, man down. Viney saw the hand down and let that thing fly.
Wide open he was. Very, very light contest from Robertson, and Robertson's going to get blocked down the other end, and Reeves is going to turn it over on the rebound.
Crow did a great job of standing his ground there, but then somehow they get a second possession here, Bellarine.
Nice active hands underneath to win them the ball back as McKinney splits the pick and roll and finishes with the floater in traffic.
So
Great
crafty.
touch.
So crafty getting into the paint. Nice left-handed floater in the middle.
Andre. Viney. Now Crow high post. Bounced it off a foot, and gee, McInerney would probably feel a little stiff there that he's going to get called for a foul. It's going to be his 3rd of the game.
I still like what the Dragons are doing, trying to get to the middle of the zone and try and open everything up.
I beg your pardon, that's actually going to be the 4th on McInerney as they go inside for Reeves, and he gets sent back. Nice block, Richardson.
Great help defense there from Richardson. Looked like Reeves had an easy one, and he just come across and sent it
wow.
away. Great pass from McKinney. Oh, misses the bunny.
Oh, he missed both of them. McInerney, the third attempt was no good.
Padding their offensive rebound stats there.
Missed all three of the attempts from right underneath the hoop. Viney now, kick out pass, Conway, long two, in and out.
I still like how they're getting into the paint and getting great looks out of this zone. It'll be interesting to see if Bellarine stays in it.
Conway, an ice cold 27% from the floor at the moment. McKinney the other way. Robertson pulling up, long two, in and out, Reeves the rebound.
Not a great look there, deep two, that's not what you want.
This is a different Bellarine team, it seems, in this second half so far. Conway, now Viney. Viney on the dribble, flips it up. Reeves over the top, tried to finish the putback and missed. McKinney now, off to the races for Richardson, who got sent back. But they're going to slug Reeves for a foul on the face.
Great job there in transition from McKinney, pushing it, drawing two, and then dishing it off to his right-hand man, Richardson, and he gets himself to the line.
The fourth foul on Reeves, and he'll have to take a seat, you would think, with 6:43 to go here in the third.
And that's exactly what happens.
So Richardson at the line, 73% shooter on the year. Good, no good on the first. Commentator's curse there.
40% from the line here, Bellarine. Let's see if they can knock this one down.
Pretty paltry by the standards of the league as he makes the second. 2 points the advantage for Bellarine. Bit of run and jump, run and trap now for Bellarine as Conway at the top. Elbow jump shot over the top of Richardson, no good. Mulqueeny tried to chip in and missed. And there's going to be a foul that goes against Richardson. No, I'm not sure if that's going to be shots or a baseline ball, but
I don't think the refs know what it is. We got a baseline ball. Great job of getting in the middle of the zone there. Every single time they're getting a great look, Camberwell.
Not sure quite what the call was, as Mulqueeny's going to get a nice, quick inbound, and Conway was naked and sent back. Richardson came out of nowhere.
Conway looked like an easy two, and then swatted away there by Richardson. Second block of the quarter.
Second big block in almost as many minutes as Richardson tried to bait Mulqueeny into a foul, and he's going to get the call.
It looked like he hooked Mulqueeny there and just fell over, but great job of there of baiting a foul.
So second on Mulqueeny. Richardson at the top. Now McKinney. McKinney surveying. Richardson now. Mulqueeny for company. Nice D, and they're going to get Mulqueeny for a foul on the floor after he seemingly drew a charge. Mulqueeny, that's going to be his third. Gee, I don't know that I'm sure about that one.
I don't know what Mulqueeny was supposed to do there. He got in front of Richardson and tried to take the hit, and he took it right in the chest, and just called him for a blocking foul.
So I think the call was for afterwards. I think he stuck a foot out, and that was where he tripped over. But regardless, I think that's an interesting call as McKinney steps back for three. Not known for his three-point shooting.
$1,000 move, 5-cent finish there from McKinney.
Stepping back, Andre the three, got fouled. Did he drop that one? No, he didn't. He's going to go to the line for three as Varley's going to get done for the foul. Stepped under his space, and third personal on Lewis Varley.
A lot of fouls here in this third term. Both teams with three already and not far off the bonus.
Blowing the absolute pee out of the whistle.
3 free throws here for Andre.
And a bit of conversation between the coach and bit of conversation between the crowd even as well.
Bit of anxiousness here in the crowd.
As Andre makes the first. And good on the second. Pretty handy from the line, 77% on the year.
Hopefully you haven't cursed him here.
Well, fortunately not, as Andre makes it a perfect 3-3 from the line on that trip. Gives Camberwell back their 1 point advantage. McKinney working down the hill. Gets fouled by Conway, puts it in. And one.
Gets to that left hand, and you might as well pencil him down for 2 points every time he gets to the paint right now.
Camberwell scrambling for an answer for how to guard Malik McKinney. Maybe Matt Hart's the answer as he checks in for Ben Crow.
McKinney with a double-double already, 23 points, 10 rebounds.
He's been busy, but it's been almost a Conway-like 20 for him so far.
Just gets to his spot.
And they're going to
bit of confusion here from the referee.
It will be one shot indeed for McKinney. Normally pretty reliable from the line. Oh, hit just about every part of the ring and went down. Varley will take a seat and Garcia will check back in.
It's just how the afternoon's going here for McKinney. Everything seemed to be going right now.
So Viney to handle, 2 points in arrears. Camberwell.
Still in this zone.
Camberwell not really giving them a reason to get out of the zone either, for what it's worth. Conway harassed. Hart, Viney with 10. Pulling up, a long three off the back iron. Conway the rebound. Spinning, found himself some space. Missed it. Richardson tried to go up top for the rebound and got a flat tire. The
intensity here from Bellarine on defense is unbelievable right now. A lot of communication, and it's scrambling the Dragons.
Hart indeed was given that McKinney assignment as Cos tried to spin. Terrell looking inside. Richardson spinning on Conway, putting it up and putting it in.
Starting to get himself going here, Richardson.
Up to 11 now for the big fella. Conway, skip pass, turns it over. McKinney off to the races. Cos.
Expect a timeout here from the Dragons.
And it was indeed, he travelled. Trent Andre just about had a heart attack, thought he was getting done for a foul, and Camberwell are going to have a chat. 4 points, their deficit. 4 minutes and 35 left.
Could see that timeout coming. Ballarine's intensity to start this third quarter has been unbelievable. The Dragons haven't been able to match it, and that's why they're down 4 points right now.
So you're looking at Camberwell, who are significantly, they're looking like a different team in the second half, and not for the better if you're a fan of the team in red.
Yeah, Jack, you mentioned at the start of that first quarter if they were going to keep up their field goal percentage, and you look at it now, they're 16 of 49 at 33% from the field, and Bellarine have picked their percentage up, and they're nearly at 50% from the field, so it's kind of helping them as they're struggling from the line, Bellarine, but they're shooting really well from the field, and they've only attempted 7 3-pointers, which is very odd.
Yeah, not a strong three-pointing team. They were ranked 12th coming into the game, shooting a pretty meager 27% on the year. This is even below their season average at 1 of 7. Not what you would call a high-powered offense, this Bellarine team. 10th in total points and 11th on offensive rating.
What's doing it for them right now is their defensive intensity. They've been causing Camberwell to throw away silly turnovers and get out in transition. They should have had another bucket there if they didn't shuffle the feet.
So Camberwell would have come into this one thinking this is a game that's very winnable. There's evidence. It's been a pretty hard-fought one so far. As Mulqueeny tried to fire one inside for the cutting Viney and turn it over. Richardson to the hoop. Lays it up and in. And Richardson took a shot as he was running up the court. Just ran straight into the back of him.
As I said, it was right on cue. I said how the Bellarine are forcing deflections and turnovers and getting in transition. The first play out of the timeout, what happens? Deflection to a wide-open layup on the fast break.
So Mulqueeny to inbound, 6-point deficit now for Camberwell. Sticking with this zone, as we said before, not really a reason to get out of it if you're Bellarine. Mulqueeny, skip past Conway, corner three on the way. Was no good, nice little rebound from Richardson. Taps it off the backboard to himself.
They're getting some decent looks from three, but they're just not falling. And at what point do you just try and get yourself in the paint before you attempt those threes?
Terrell tried to line a three up, but off a hand, it ended up with Cos who finished.
Scramble play there turns into a layup. 8-point lead here.
Camberwell need an answer as soon as they can. An 8-0 run now for Bellarine. Hart. Andre stepping to his left for three. That is the answer that they needed. A 3-ball for Trent Andre.
A lot of stoppages here in this third term. I don't know what's going on.
And I think the coach was down on the baseline trying to guard a space out of bounds, and it'll result in a warning.
Trent Andre answers the call there, finally gets a through ball to go for the Dragons. Hopefully they can give him a bit of momentum here.
Conway taking a seat, shot 19% on the game. That is a historically low percentage for him through almost a full 3 quarters. Cos. Garcia made Viney dance, and Cos got it back at the top and puts a 3 right down the middle. Answers straight back.
Very productive 6 minutes here from Cos. 7 points, shooting 100% from the field.
Andre now. Hart. Turns it straight over. Garcia now. Cos. Missed that one. Commentators curse a little bit as Richardson missed the 2. Got his own rebound, put it in. Biggest lead of the game for Bellarine.
Richardson's nearly got himself a double-double now, 15 and 9.
Viney. Andre, long 3 from the left corner, from the left wing was in. Nice make, Trent Andre.
See if he can keep himself going here. That's 2 in a row for Andre.
Garcia. High post for Terrell. Cos thought about lining up another one for himself. They'll look inside for Terrell. Bit of a hold on the floor for Lai, but they're going to say it was on the shot. He's going to go and shoot a couple from the line, Jack Terrell.
And then right on cue, Conway checks out. 30 seconds later, checks himself straight back in. Let's see if he can get himself going.
So James and Crow will join him checking in. And Terrell, meanwhile, at the line. 75% on the year, not going there a whole lot, it must be said. No good on the first. No good in the second either, as Conway an uncontested rebound, his 8th.
More hungry Jacks.
Inside Conway, a lot of body contact from McKinney. Chucked it up over his head, and there's going to be a foul. I think it's going to go against McKinney. And a warning, it'll go against McKinney.
Bit of tension here, growing.
So the foul will go against Richardson, who I thought was away from the play. It's his 3rd. Probably if you're McKinney, you just put your hand up and cop that foul. And they're going to have a discussion here. I think there's going to be I thought there may have been a T coming there for the warning, but no, as it turned out, the warning was against the bench.
Warning the whole game.
Crowd happy to point that one out as well, as Conway maintains perfection from the line.
It's another one of those scrappy plays that turns into free throws, and let's see if these 2 free throws can get Conway going.
Shades of, was it Nate Caddy on Thursday night for Essendon having a shot above the head? We've seen that one before, as Richardson will take a seat and McInerney will come back in. McInerney, a very productive night for him. Well, maybe not, as the stats come up on my board. Only shooting at 29%. It felt like he's had a lot more impact than that.
He's had a lot of offensive rebounds, but he just hasn't been able to finish.
Crow kicked it back to Garcia, and McInerney ends up on it. McKinney now guarded by Conway. McKinney, wants him to clear out. Kick out to Garcia, corner 3. Short, offensive rebound, McInerney again. Too many Macs on this team. Cos now. Inside for McInerney, back to Cos. Cos, right wing 3, right down the numbers.
Those ones hurt there for the Dragons. Crow had 2 great deflections early in the possession. They get an offensive rebound, and Cos, 100% from the field. Make that 80.
Lie now. James, long 3. Trent Andre for his 3rd in a row. Yes! Sean King beside himself on the sideline, but Andre's 3rd 3 on the bounce cuts the lead back to 5. McKinney now.
This is better intensity here from the Dragons.
McKinney wide open for 3. Turned it down, went on the bounce, floated it up and missed. Garcia offensive rebound, floating away and puts it in.
Another offensive rebound here.
Andre for his 4th on a row. Short-armed it. Tom James, nice rebound. Went down an absolute avenue. Conway a 3, puts it in. Sean Conway cuts it back to 4.
Gets those 2 free throws, and now he's got a bit of a rhythm here.
Garcia got a lot of body contact on Lai, but King is absolutely apoplectic on the sideline. He's filthy about something. I dare say it might be to do with Seth Garcia getting off the chain on him, but I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Dragons' three-point shooting, keeping him in this game right now.
Pretty paltry, 36% from the floor in general. Jeez, looking at that two-point percentage for them. 9 of 29 from the land of 2. Garcia made his first at the line and got both. So 6-point, the Camberwell lead, 11-second difference, shot in game.
See if they go for a 2-for-1 here.
Lai, Conway on the bounce against Garcia. Andre, opportunity probably gone from them now. Crow, long 3, front iron, didn't even give it a chance. Conway, offensive rebound though. Up and inside, puts it in, nice finish. Sean Conway, the 2. Way to stay with the play there for the Camberwell number 8.
We've been saying all day that he's just an ethical scorer and usually shoots at a great clip, but he's got 20 points on 28%, which is just very odd for him, but he's still finding a way to make an impact. As he's come back on, 7 quick points. See if he can make it 8.
100%. McInerney took a seat there, and Conway will go to the line to add to his tally. Maintains his perfect run from the foul line. So 14 seconds now for Bellarine. Almost an 8 in the backcourt. They'll kick to Zalakos. Looking inside. McKinney on the left with contact and the foul.
Another one of those left-handed finishes. If he catches that in that paint and goes to his left hand, you might as well just pencil the 2 points and get back on defense. Great finish from McKinney.
11 of 19 from the floor. 0-2 from 3, which probably speaks a little bit broadly to how they shoot as a team. And a timeout for Bellarine. They'll have a quick chat with 4 2/10 left in the third. 5 points their lead, with McKinney to go to the line to make it an extra.
It's only a 5-point ball game. If you watch this quarter and didn't look at the scoreboard, you'd feel like the Dragons are down 15 points here, Jack. It's just they've actually done a decent job of staying pace with Bellarine in this third term, and see if they can finish it with a bucket here on this last possession after a McKinney free throw.
So defensively, Bellarine have done a great job really since that first quarter, and it's really come from that change that they've made from going from a matchup straight into a zone, and they've really dried up the Camberwell scoring broadly.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. You look at their 2-point field goal percentage. Like, the Dragons are only shooting 33% from 2, and 41% from 3 is actually really respectable. But in this third quarter, they've probably made 4 late with the 3 in a row from Trent Andre and the Sean Conway 3. But before that, they were forcing deflections and panic from the Dragons, and that's why they have this lead right now.
100%. So 25 for McKinney. He'll go to the line and try and make it a 26-point double-double. 10 boards, a couple of assists and steals to go with it as well. 15 for Richardson as well, a rebound away from his double-double. So McKinney. Sean King very interested in the foot position there from the number 1. Andre with 1, long 3. Oh, almost went down, and I think even if it did, it probably would have been waved off. Crow going up there and grabbing the net, but through 3 frames at Baldwin High, it's Bellarine holding a 74-69 lead. Zach Fazina, third quarter thoughts.
Yeah, just as we mentioned before, the Dragons have actually done a good job of just combating the run from Bellarine in that third quarter. Their defensive intensity was incredible, and that's why they have the lead. But their free throw shooting, they're shooting 44% from the free throw line, 7 of 16. If they make 4 or 5 more of them, this is a 10-point ball game. So the Dragons in this huddle are just got to stay calm and play patient offense in this fourth quarter, and they could definitely come away with the win.
So we're going to look at some leading scorers for you. McKinney leads all comers, 25 for him so far. Richardson, the next best for Bellarine with 15. Cos, who's been a sneaky contributor so far, has 10. Over on the Camberwell side, it's been all Conway and Andre, 20 and 17 respectively. Conway a rebound away from another double-double, seemingly on request, on demand for him over the course of his short time with the Dragons.
Might as well pencil him in for a double-double most nights, Conway.
It's really been a pretty good effort by Bellarine to hold him to such a low field goal percentage. Very unusual for him, as you said before, to be heaving them up and not getting the love that he normally would.
I feel like the zone has kind of helped him because they've been able to guard him as a unit instead of one guy guarding him one-on-one. And they've been forcing him to take a lot more three-point jumpers than I think he would want to take himself. So let's see if they stay in this zone in this fourth quarter or they decide to match up.
Credit where it's due. It's really been the tail of the tape that it's just well scouted. So, quarter of play left in this one. As we said, it's a 5-point lead for Bellarine. Looking to get their 5th win on the year. Glad you're here with us for this Sunday afternoon hoops. It's Camberwell who will start this fourth quarter. And they'll start through Ben Crow. Conway now. 20 for him so far. Andre harassed by the Bellarine defense. Lie upstairs. No good on the layup. Ball batting around. Rebound Conway. There's his double-double. Tried to fire it up through a couple of sets of hands. Ended up with Tom James, who gets the 2 to go. And Jack Terrell was down behind play. And the referee will stop play. And seems to be all right, though, as he trots back up the floor.
I was going to mention this at the start of the fourth quarter. Smaller lineup here from Bellarine to start. First possession, 2 offensive rebounds there for the Dragons, and they get a 2-point bucket in the paint.
Salakos, McKinney, Cos, corner 3, Garcia on the way. Pure. An immediate answer back.
Great patience in the zone there to get a wide open corner 3 ball, and Garcia knocks it down.
Conway. Looking. James. Turning the corner on the right. Turn down, Ben Crow inside. Low clock now, 10 on it. Step back, never mind. Lie for 3 was long. McKinney controls. And here he goes, got to slow him in transition. Corner 3 for Cos. Front iron and out. Conway now. On Terrell. Nice D by the young fella. As Lie goes up, missed it, short-armed it from a foot. And McKinney gets the rebound and throws the head back and draws a foul.
Those are the fouls you can't afford to have. Jaden there with a foul in the backcourt, and those are the ones that coaches hate. Those are coacher killers.
And McKinney made a bit of a name for himself last year at Hume for throwing the head back and exaggerating contact. It's like if Shea Gilgeous-Alexander actually got contact on things. Anyway, you get what I mean. Garcia looking, stepping back, stepping through on Conway, floating it up and in. Nice finish. Seth Garcia.
Bit of an up and under move there from the deep 2 range. Garcia getting himself going here, 2 buckets in the quarter.
Up to 9 for him. Andre, Conway in rhythm, a long 3 was off the back iron and out. Tip ball from Andre, went to Lie. Andre again, harassed by Garcia, kick to Crow. Crow off the bounce, floating it up and in. Ben Crow, who's had a pretty poor shooting night by his standards.
Started off with those 2 threes in the first quarter. That's his first bucket since.
Garcia now, the hot hand, looked underneath, bit hot for Terrell. Kick out pass, Zalakos a 3. Off the back and out, and Garcia's going to get slugged for a slap from behind. It's his second foul. 7.5 minutes and a 6-point lead for Bellarine.
Bringing back Richardson here, a bit more size on the floor here for Bellarine. See how long it takes for the Dragons to bring back Reeves. He's been off the floor for a while after picking up his 4th personal.
Andre, Viney, Andre, no one anywhere near him. Loves it when he gets it on his terms, he just loves it. Makes the wide open triple.
That's odd there from Bellarine. You know he's got the hot hand right now in the zone. You've got to know where he is at all times. Wide open, step in 3.
5 of 10 on the game for Andre from 3. for his 20 points. They went up top and inside. Nice finish in there for Richardson.
Had the mismatch on Viney, and it was just bread and butter down there for Richardson. Easy bucket.
Backdoor pass for Conway. Conway got absolutely mauled away from it. And then James tried to maul Richardson. And right on cue. It looks like Reeves will check back in. He will indeed.
I'm a bit confused there. That's not a foul. Conway got clobbered going towards the rim on that left side, but no call there, and Bellarine get the ball back up by 5 early in this fourth term.
And the court sweepers will head down to clean up the Conway mess. Reeves showing impressive flexibility away from the ball. It's one of the deepest lunges I think I've seen.
I think I'd do that. That'd break both my knees there, Jack.
So Bellarine to inbound, 6:45 left in the final period of play. It'll be McKinney to handle it for Bellarine. McKinney, Reeves to guard. Richardson inside, spinning. Oh, he lost him. Someone get Mike Reeves a map, because on that Richardson spin, he just absolutely lost him.
Put him in the spin cycle. Nice hook shot there from Richardson.
Viney spinning. Crow a 3 is pure. Right down the middle for Ben Crow. Cuts the lead back to 4.
Double figures there from Crow again. You got to know where the shooters are on the scouting report. Andre and Crow with 2 threes in a row here.
McKinney, not really a three-point threat, dancing on Viney. Spinning, falling back on the left hand, is always down.
Viney guarded that as well as you could guard that. You limit him getting to his left hand for the floater, and he just spins and shoots a mid-range jumper over the top.
Deep 3, Conway puts it in. Sean Conway, the long triple. Starting to get himself going again, up to 23.
He's got a bit of a rhythm here after coming back in late in that third quarter. Knocked down 2 threes and got himself to the line as well.
Richardson, Euro stepping his way down the lane. Camberwell just cannot seem to climb over this 5-point buffer.
It looks like Reeves is a bit tenant. Oh, he gets in the paint here.
Nice feed inside. He's able to go and high point the ball and finishes under duress inside. Back to 3.
It looks like on the defensive there, no, he's too scared. He doesn't want to pick up that 5th foul, and he's just letting Richardson get easy looks at the rim.
They're a better team with Reeves on the floor, and it's certainly affecting them. That is so short. That's an air ball from 5 feet as Conway looked to kick it ahead to Viney. Couldn't get it to him. Now it's Andre. Crow. Nice active hands. McKinney bats it out of bounds, and it'll stay with Camberwell in the front court. 18 on the shot. 4:47 on the game.
That's right on cue from you there, Jack. Reeves better than when he's on the floor. He impacts that shot there, and they get an air ball.
Viney tried to force feed it inside to Reeves. Always a tough angle. As up top, Garcia got mauled by Conway. No call. Conway now with pressure. Crow a 3 for his 4th of the game. Connects. Ben Crow the triple. Ties the game at 87.
He got a nice little bunny to go early in this quarter, and he's just gone bang, bang from 3. Tied ball game.
McKinney, you feel this is going to be off the bounce, whatever it is. Garcia now packing the paint with McKinney in the ball. Robertson inside for Varley. Now Robertson again, pulling up on Viney. Shot clock expiring and bounces out of bounds. Shot clock violation, and they'll turn it over. Great defensive set for Camberwell.
Dragons did a great job there. Get the ball out of McKinney's hands, and the offense just collapsed there. They couldn't get a good look. I think that's the recipe for the rest of this game.
So, just a tick under 4 minutes to play in this one. Viney now for Reeves. Reeves got hacked by Varley. Varley hates it. To be fair, I've never seen Varley like a call. Not once. It will be a timeout going in the direction of Bellarine. Camberwell well and truly on top in this last couple of minutes. Tied game at 87 with 3:48 to go in the 4th.
Dragons have done a great job here just to get themselves back in this game. Started this quarter as we were mentioning, they just couldn't get over that 5-point hump, and they've done a great job here of getting it back to a tie ball game with possession to try and take the lead.
So if you're inside that Bellarine huddle, you've zoned for the majority of the game. It feels like Camberwell have just started to get on top, and when you have had those changes in the last 4 minutes, let's call it, of this game, do you go back to the well with the zone now? Like they've gone off the chain a little bit offensively. Do you change something up? Do you go to a different look? What are you thinking if you're in this Bellarine huddle?
The only problem if you go back to that zone, Jack, is Crow's hit 2 in a row, and then if you have Conway who starts getting, he's hit a couple this quarter as well, and then also Trent Andre who's made 5 for the game, it's going to be hard to guard in that zone. One of them is going to get open. So if I was Bellarine, I'd just go to a man-on-man, guard your guy, and make sure you communicate like they were doing in patches for this game. When they were playing their best defense, they were yapping like crazy and causing Dragons to panic. So we'll see what they do out of the timeout defensively.
A pretty middling defensive unit, ranked 11th overall for defensive output in the league. I beg your pardon, that's 8th, not 11th. I'm looking at the wrong team. Ranked 8th in the league. It'll be a Camberwell ball off the baseline here. Andre to inbound. They'll go through Reeves. Viney now. Crow got himself open. So did Reeves. Reeves inside, jump hook with the contact and finish. And Camberwell lead again.
Whoever drew that play up out of the timeout will be licking their lips. Beautiful play. And they went to a man there, Bellarine, and Reeves gets a wide open layup.
Zone look for Camberwell is inside McKinney. That is just as easy as you like. It's like shelling peas for him inside.
Got to get the ball out of his hands. He's been too dominant in the paint.
Viney now, Crow. Viney working, inside for Reeves. Reeves, one-on-one coverage, blocked. Sent back by Richardson, his 3rd block of the game.
It just looks like Reeves had a nice hook shot there, and just like he's done all game, Richardson just comes from nowhere.
Garcia now. McKinney, guarded by Andre. Varley thought about a long 3, didn't like it in the end. Dump pass inside was too hot for Richardson and falls out of play.
Great active hands there from the Dragons, forcing a deflection out of bounds, and now they have a chance to take the lead again.
Viney working on a pretty quiet game. 3 assists and a point away from a double-double. Looking inside. Looking on the left. Gonna get done for a walk. Dragged the pivot foot as he tried to get onto the left hand.
Thought he did well there to keep the pivot foot down. But obviously the refs disagree, and now Bellarine have a chance to take the lead.
Little full court extended pressure here for Camberwell. They'll go to Robertson. Inside Richardson and Robertson again. Nice active hands. Andre gets a block. But it falls out of bounds and will stay with Bellarine. 13 on the shot clock. A tick under 2:30 to go. Garcia a 3. Got drilled by Conway. I beg your pardon, it's an offensive foul on the kick out. Garcia tried to draw the contact and just stuck the leg out, and Conway got nailed by it.
Great call there from the official. A lot of people miss those calls, but as you can see, Garcia on the shot, as soon as he released it, he stuck his leg out completely in the wrong direction. As you mentioned earlier, that's a bit of a Gilgeous-Alexander move there to draw the foul, and not to be, offensive foul.
Real 2016 James Harden look. He stuck the leg out to try and exaggerate the contact.
Back in the zone here for Bellarine. Obviously the man was not working.
So it'll be Viney. High post for Reeves. Andre's got an acre of space out there on the right wing. Didn't want to give it to him. Viney now on Robertson. And again, made him dance, pushed off, floated it up and in. Nice make, Lockie Viney. Lead back to 2 for Camberwell.
Put him in the weight room there, Viney. Nice little shoulder, drop of the shoulder and finish over the top to give Camberwell the lead.
It's a zone off at the moment in this one. McKinney thought about a deep 3. Would have been longer than all of his other shots combined. Kick out pass, Varley. Great poise to get the shot away. Round and out, Garcia the tip, missed. Probably had more time than he thought there, Seth Garcia.
Smallest guy on the floor, got the offensive rebound and just couldn't put it back in.
Trying to make it a 2-possession game now, Camberwell, and Viney's just going to bounce it away. 90 seconds to go in this one.
back in this half-court, little half-court trap here.
So it'll be McKinney. McKinney with Viney for company. Nice D by Viney to try and ride him up the court. Garcia now. Varley. Experienced campaigners across the board here for Bellarine. Kick out pass Robertson. Corner three, Garcia on the way. Long, missed a lot. Nice rebound, Richardson. McKinney a three. Bang, puts it in. Malik McKinney the three. Gives the lead to Bellarine with 1:08 to go.
First three ball of the game comes at a very crucial moment. That's 32 now for McKinney.
Being the difference for Bellarine in this one. You'd think this has to be a score for Camberwell. Viney inside, missed with the left. And inside, nice follow and finish by Conway. Lead back with Camberwell. 57 seconds left in this.
Looked like Viney had a layup, but great job by Conway not to assume, crash the glass and tip it in.
McKinney now. Spacing the floor. Garcia. Robertson, guarded by Viney. Looking, threw it away. And they're going to say it's off a Camberwell hand. With 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Just can't foul in this scenario. Got to keep your hands out. Make a tough shot over the top.
Both teams nowhere near the bonus at this stage. I think they're going to get a 14-second reset here. And they are going to get a 14-second reset off the ring support.
Very unlucky there from the Dragons that it just happened to get deflected that high up on the backboard. I think they're taking it down to 4 here, Jack. I don't know.
I think you might be right. I think it'll be 4. Did seem like it would have been an odd move for that to be a 14.
Yeah.
I thought, but so Sean King makes a good point. So he seems to think if there's an extra 2 seconds getting put back on the shot clock, then there should be an extra couple on the game clock. So they're going to have a chat about it, just for something different.
He's not wrong there, but with the lead, I don't know if you'd want more time on the clock.
I think you're sort of anticipating that this is a score here with 4 seconds. Plenty of time here for an experienced team like this to find a couple of points to get the lead again.
And they are going to reset the clock.
So I think it'll be 39 and a couple of tenths.
Bit of a break up in play here with late in this ball game, 1 point game. You just can't let Richardson get a catch in the paint here, because if he gets it, he doesn't need to go back down. He can just put it straight back up with his size.
So essential for Camberwell that they get a stop in this one. 39 and 5/10. 4 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to go to McKinney. McKinney over the top of Crow. Was long. Conway the rebound. And they need a score now, Camberwell. They need to foul Bellarine. Andre.
They're going to play it out here,
Conway.
Bellarine.
Varley for company. Conway with 10. Working on Varley on the left hand. He got it away and they're going to slug Varley for a foul. No, it's going to be McKinney. So McKinney for the reach in. McKinney hated the call. Still not over the limit. It's going to be a timeout for the Dragons. They're going to have a 14-second reset when we come back. 16 and 8/10 left in this one. 1 point the Camberwell lead. Take us inside the huddle, both sides here. What are you drawing up if you're Camberwell, and how are you stopping it if you're Bellarine?
Well, if you're Camberwell, you just got to get the ball in bounds. In this kind of scenario with 14 fouls on Bellarine, you have to foul, because even if the Dragons miss a shot at the end of the clock, your chances of getting down the floor that quickly and getting a score are pretty low. But if you foul, even if they make 2, you can call a timeout, and then it's a 3-point ball game, and you can have a chance to tie the game. So I feel like Bellarine will be drawing up something just to try and, if they can force a 5-second violation, whereas the Dragons are just going to try and get the ball in bounds.
So 16 and 8/10 when we return from this timeout. Hotly contested. Look at the next couple of games coming up for both teams. It's seemingly a uni games trip for them the next couple of weeks for both of these teams. Camberwell on the road to Bundoora to play RMIT, and Bellarine hosting Melbourne Uni, both on the 14th. A couple of great games coming up after the long weekend. But right here, though, it's essentially a two-possession game. You would think there's one shot both ways left in this, assuming no fouls and no offensive rebounds. So it'll be Viney to inbound for Camberwell with 14. Looking, gets it to Conway. Conway now. Double.
Doesn't look like they're
fakes, but they're
fouling.
not coming.
Just hold it.
Conway inside, Reeves got hammered, but he's going to keep the ball.
Interesting decision there from Conway. There's a 1.5 second difference in the shot clock. You just need to hold the ball. Lucky the ball goes off Bellarine and they get the possession back.
Viney will inbound again. You would think they're probably going to go try and get a touch here. Viney looking, Conway got it. Up top, set back, Richardson. Varley, long three-pointer. Couldn't get it, the tip is in. No, they're going to wave it off. Richardson tried to extend over the top. It's going to be an offensive foul.
Oh my goodness.
Ben Crow got absolutely murdered.
What an ending to this game. I don't know how much time will be left on the clock, but
And
there's a
tech
tech.
foul against McKinney. No time left on the clock. It'll be a tech against McKinney. It'll be an offensive foul against Richardson, but it won't matter. The Ben Crow box out is going to save the day for the Dragons.
Richardson skied over the top and Crow just happened to be in the wrong spot, but technically the right spot as he's drawn the offensive foul, and he'll shoot two with probably 0.4 or 0.3 on the clock.
There's going to be no time left on it, just about. Certainly not enough time. If they can go to the line and make the pair here on the tee, really they've just got to touch it up and it's game over. So it'll be a timeout for Camberwell. They'll have a chat quickly as they sort the clock out. What a dramatic ending we're seeing here at Baldwin High.
Unbelievable. Interesting decision there from the Dragons. They shot it really early both times. Richardson stuffs it and then nearly has the game-winning tip. Unbelievable.
Conway trying to back his offense got absolutely stuffed by Richardson. Varley took, well, what seemed like an interesting early triple in transition, but with the clock running down, you probably think there wasn't much more of an option there. And then Richardson certainly got the tip away in time. They're going to put 0.3 back on it. So not quite enough time for a catch and shoot, and it won't really matter anyway because Camberwell will have the inbound after the McKinney tech. So you would think that Conway will shoot the couple from the line for the tee. And this is not dissimilar to the New York Indiana game a couple of weeks ago where, or beg your pardon, it was OKC in Minnesota where you just hand the ball to the inbounder.
Yeah.
You hand the ball to the guy that's defending the inbound and
Game
that's
over.
game over. They can't get a shot away. So the ball has disappeared.
The refs didn't even have the ball. They were too busy trying to sort out everything else.
And they're going to have a chat. Camberwell still. I think Conway will shoot the free throws. And that's an absolute head loss from McKinney. They still had an opportunity there because even with the offensive foul, there was still an inbound to come. And now, at best, it's a 1-point margin. At worst, it's a 3-point margin. There's still 3/10. So it will indeed be Conway to shoot it.
It's just one. I think it's just one here for the technical free throw. So either way, you just can hand the ball over.
So still some discussion to be had.
Big break in action here.
Plenty of great action around the league this weekend. McKinney looks beside himself at half court. Filthy. 32 points and 12 rebounds for him in this one. But it will go begging. He's played all bar 1 second. And ironically, there's 1 second left on the clock. So a full 40. So I would think it's 2 shots and possession for Camberwell here on the technical, because they won't get the bonus free throws as it was an offensive foul. So it will indeed be 2 shots.
So they're saying that the foul was a loose ball foul, therefore it's penalty free throws? I think that's what their discussion is right now.
So Crow will shoot 2, then Conway will shoot 2, or will it be vice versa?
So Conway's got one.
One shot. That rule has clearly changed, because I've always known that to be 2. But Conway will go to the line and make it a 2-point game. And then Ben Crow, I believe, will go and shoot.
So that was the discussion there, to see if it was because it was an offensive foul, then the free throws cancel out, because it was a loose ball.
But Camberwell will still get possession because it was a tee. So I'm confused by what's actually happening here, but we'll figure it out. We'll have a chat. This might be the longest 0.3 of a second we've ever seen in this league in particular.
My brain's melting a little bit here. I'm trying to understand what's going on.
I'd love to get the ref's attention to try and figure out what's going on.
They've got a lot on their plate right now with the coach.
Yeah,
I'd
say so. Well, the coach has been... Yeah. Well, in that case, he shouldn't have called the timeout, because I don't know that he can call another one off the back of the free throw. Oh, that's his last timeout. He's told 3 for the half.
I'm assuming he's called that because Camberwell will get free throws and possession here due to the technical.
But they're saying that it's live ball after this free throw.
Which is very odd.
Which seems odd. Well, we're going to learn something either way.
I'm learning new rules every day, so this is great.
Ooh, I've almost knocked my desk over, but we'll press on. With not long left.
I wonder what the coach is drawing up, or if he's just saying something.
The 62% shooter, Ben Crow, will go to the line to try and make it a 2-possession game with 3/10 left. Now, they can't really do anything more than tip it in 0.3. So it begs the question, A, why this is a live ball, and B, why it's taken us so long to get to that resolution. But either way, Crow makes the first. So at best, Bellarine can tie on some sort of alley-oop from full court. But Crow could put it to bed with the second, and he does.
He does.
Well, not that it wasn't anyway, but they'll inbound to Garcia, and he won't get it off in 0.3. Camberwell will run away after all that. A 4-point victor, 96-92. Zach, your closing thoughts?
Great fight back there from the Dragons. It looked like at one point that the game was being played on Ballarine's hands. But that fourth quarter, they finally broke that zone and started knocking down their 3-ball. Opened up the rest of their game, and after about a 20-minute, 0.3 seconds, we get to the end of the game, and the Dragons close it out with a 4-point win. So
Camberwell will take away a 4-point victor out of this one, behind Conway's 26 and Trent Andre's 20. It's a 96-92 final here from Baldwin High School. Thanks for joining us today. On behalf of Zach Bazina and the whole Camberwell crew, we will see you after the long weekend. Have a safe and happy one. We will see you in a fortnight's time. Bye for now.